Hey everybody, it's Greg, Detroit's Love Guru, coming to you live with the Art of Relationship show every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern. Now, going to talk about stop losing yourself. How many people have lost themselves in a relationship, let's face it, with friends, with family as well. So we're going to talk about that. You know what? Stay tuned. We're going to kick it off in just a minute. Hey everybody, welcome back. Going to be talking about stop losing yourself in a relationship. And this also goes hand in hand, let's face it, with relatives, which can be very, very difficult, okay? So I'm going to go over some simple tips, about what to look for when you are losing yourself in a relationship. And we look at how many people are looking at those elements and looking at, what the heck is happening when you lose yourself, okay? There's a lot of things, being able to look at. It's, I'm all about people giving 100% to a relationship, okay, when possible. It might not be 100%, but about, giving all in a relationship. So there's a difference between that and losing yourself in a relationship, okay? When you start losing yourself, you know what? You're going to start feeling, maybe you can relate, you might start feeling maybe angry all the time, maybe resentful. You might start feeling depressed. You might start feeling like, you're out of your mind, that you're not living the life that you want. And a lot of times when we lose ourselves, let's face it, we start feeling like we're taken for granted. We're not important. We, like I mentioned, we get depressed. We start getting maybe more anxious. We start feeling like blah. I know, okay, 2020 just ended, right? So most of us are going to feel that anyways. But when we're talking about, in a love relationship, we start feeling like nothing is about us. Nothing matters about us to our partner, that type of situation. That our love life, those situations are, they don't care about how things affect us. This holds true in relationships outside of the romantic aspects. And we're going to talk about, it could be family. It could be a mom, a sister, a brother, cousin, whatever. It could be best friends. It's always about them. And you feel like you are, going against the essence of who you are, what your values are, what your morals are. And they want you to, forget about those values, forget about your self-love. And it's all about what they want. Okay? Simple. Right? So let's face it, it's not all that easy. You can, chime in down below, please, okay? And, give me your experiences. Have you been in this situation where you have started, lose yourself, that type of situation? Looking at, one thing I tell people, how good are you at listening to your gut instincts, okay? And I tell people, couples, individuals, whatever, our gut instincts are there for a reason. People always talk about women's intuition, right? This is part of that situation and, part of, paying attention to your gut instinct. Our heart might be over here, but I love that person. It's family. It's my best friend. It's my mom. It's my dad, whatever, right? And your gut's saying, you know what, man, I feel like I'm going against who I am. I'm going against, what I believe in. And that's your gut sort of telling you, and you got to pay attention to it. For me personally, and I mentioned this on numerous episodes, when I go against my gut instinct, 9 times out of 10, I get burnt. I'm like, damn, I knew better, right? And so this is a sign that, I'm going against my values if I do this, but then my heart kicks in, right? Oh, but it's my mom, it's my dad, it's my brother, sister, cousin. Oh, it's my husband, it's my wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, you name it, okay? And do they care about that you are selling yourself out? So this is things, are you going against your gut instinct, number one? Number two, does your partner, relative, family member, does that person care that you are selling out what's important to you about your values? That's going to tell you a huge sign. And my question is, what's causing you to do that, okay? Another third sign is looking at, do you feel like you're not living the life you want? Now, let's face it, we all want to be billionaires, millionaires, whatever, right? I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about, are you selling out the life you want to live as far as what you stand for, what you value, how you want to live your life, what you find enjoyable, and it's never about you. That you feel like you are living the life of your partner. You're living the life of whatever, relative, friend, that type of situation, that you are giving up your life. Now, a big thing is, okay, I'm going to tell you, when I talk about, selling yourself out and about, not being true to you, I'm not talking about being selfish. There is a huge balance, a huge difference in between losing yourself and being selfish. I get people, I don't want to be taken out of context. Well, Greg said, don't lose myself. So that entitles me to be selfish. It's all about me. You know what? I need to do what I want to do. Yeah, no, it's a balance, okay? Do you feel we're gonna, it's relationships, any relationship, it's a give and take. It's an ebb and flow, right? It's mutuality. That's what I'm talking about, right? But if that relationship, no matter what form it is, that it's not mutual, that it's not about you sometimes, and they don't care about, okay, this is important to you, and this is totally going against who you are. I use this example with couples on a daily basis, okay? One wants a kid, but you really don't want a kid. Or maybe you love a kid, you want a kid, a child, 2, 3, 20, whatever, okay? And you know what? Your partner doesn't want kids. And now you compromise who you are as a person. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Something that is very the essence of who you are. Maybe you're with somebody that's devout, religious, whatever their following is, and you're not religious, you hate organized religion, but you're going to do it. Or the opposite, right? You're very devout and your partner doesn't want you to be, so you sell out what's important to you, and then you live with these regrets. So that's a big thing that you look at. Man, why did I lose myself? Why did I do that? And that's what I'm talking about, the differences between being selfish. I'm all about giving in a relationship and being there and, having that mutuality, that ebb and flow, having your partner care about what's important to you. And it's not about what's always important, to you or to them, I should say. My apologies. So those are the elements that I'm talking about when you go against your gut instinct, when you feel like, your partner or that person in your life doesn't care about you and selling out what's important to you and what your values are. I don't care, this is important to me. I don't care that. So you have to always, side with me. If you really love me, and that's where that manipulation comes in, and that's where I want you to stop it. And your gut's telling you, man, I feel like I'm being manipulated. And then that person, oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Well, I am. Do they care about how things affect you? That's a big thing into selling yourself out in any type of relationship, okay? And part of the issues with people, that sort of lose themselves in a relationship, let's face it, it's not easy, especially if it's, family or someone you love, right? Your heart and soul are with that, so you feel like, I don't want to lose that person. I really love that person. But again, do you love yourself at the same time? Are you able to maintain yourself, how you want to live your life according to your own values and morals? And, another example might be one person wants to be a swinger, have an open relationship, and you're all about monogamy, okay? And, oh, I'm going to allow this, but I really hate it. I really don't want this. That's a big decision. So do I allow it or lose my relationship or lose my marriage or lose my girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, that type of situation? And these are very, very critical elements into losing yourself. And it's not easy, okay? Especially when your heart and soul are involved. And, it could tear our kids up, right? Looking at, would you want your kids to give up their values? That doesn't mean we always do what we want to do all the time. That's not realistic. That's not life, okay? It's a give and take. But that's what I'm talking about. Things that are so important to you, you know what? That you give that out. It's like almost telling somebody that is LGBTQ, right? That, oh, you know what? You're a lesbian, so you can't be a lesbian anymore. Or you're gay, you can't be gay anymore. It's like me wanting to be black and you know what? I can't be black, right? That's not who I am. I can act, right? Or, Greg, you can't be white. You know what? That type of thing. We have to look at our own values and our own systems and looking at how important it is for us to be able to maintain, what is important to us, and that we're not going to sell ourselves out. And sometimes this is a difficult part. Sometimes it's going to cause the relationship or marriage to end. But again, is it the life that you want to live, that you are living, true to yourself? Everybody's heard that term, right? Be true to yourself. And again, it's not about being selfish. It's not all about you. We're not talking about that. Hell no. That's not a healthy situation. So you want to be true to yourself. And part of another aspect, I mentioned when you start selling yourself out, I talked about, you might be angry, irritable, depressed. There's a lot of times where you might start wanting to be isolated. You want to distance yourself from your partner, from your family, from those friends that are wanting you to sell yourself out, to lose yourself in that relationship, right? And then you start distancing yourself. You start further isolating yourself, or maybe you want to be isolated. That type of situation, because it's easier because that person, every contact you have, or just about on a daily basis, or you talk to them every week, you're going to be challenged to sort of cut across your boundaries and what's important to you. Don't do that. You're going to be miserable, people. You're not being authentic to yourself. And I talk about people being genuine and authentic and what's important to you. It would be, one person, wants to, and I run into this often, one person wants to maybe stay at home, be a stay-at-home parent, and the other person doesn't want that. A partnership. They want equal or close to equal, whatever it is, works for them, about paying the bills, household chores, whatever. And then one person that, doesn't want someone to be a stay-at-home parent or partner and doesn't want that at all, but they're doing it. And they're like, damn, I really don't want to do this. And the other person, well, this is what I want. And then you have that clash of lifestyles, right? You have that clash of how you want to live your life. And this can go with sex. It can go with a lot of things too. Moral judgments, value judgments. These are things that I talk about when you lose yourself in a relationship romantically, and also in, a relationship that is a friendship, that is, definitely a family situation. It's not easy. I know that. But these are things to look at. And, what is causing you to lose yourself that's not being authentic to you because you're afraid of being alone. You're afraid to end the relationship or end the marriage, the effects it's going to have on the kids. And I always say this, would you want your kids to sell themselves out and what they value later on in adulthood and as, they want to live? Would you want that for your kids? So what are you showing your kids and not telling them? It's not easy. And I'm all about, trying to preserve marriages and relationships and fix traumas, broken hearts, and, healing betrayals of trust. I'm all about that. Absolutely. Woohoo! Right? But sometimes it can't happen, especially when you are losing yourself. It's not a healthy situation to be in. So look at those traits that I gave you. Are you, again, I'm going to run these down really good, really quick. Sorry. Are you, going against your gut instinct? Are you listening to your gut instinct, your woman, your men's intuition, that type of situation? Does your partner care about, you selling out your values and what's important to you? And they want you to sort of, well, nothing's perfect. How many times have you heard that? Well, nothing's perfect, so just be okay with it. Ugh. Okay. And do you feel like you're not being yourself? Okay. Are you giving up the life that you really want to live? And again, I'm not talking, being a billionaire, millionaire, being exaggerated type of aspect, even though we could work for that. Not saying that, but that you feel like you are just not living the life that you want to live. Those are the 3 signs that you're probably selling yourself out, you're losing yourself. And what do you do to stop it? Or what do you do to have supportive network? Even if it's a partner, a romantic partner, what are you doing to work together? And that, man, I don't want you to sell yourself out. I want you to value yourself. And if they're total opposites of those extremes, then sadly decisions have to be made, okay? Or you might be living in misery, okay? So check out my website, people, theartofrelationships.org. As always, you can check out the Art of Relationships show every Wednesday live right here on Facebook and YouTube, live 12 noon Eastern time. Everybody take care. Peace and love to everybody out there.